So before we get started, the key concept you have to understand here is that an outfit is like a chain. It's only as strong as its weakest link. When a man suits up, the look, the outfit, it's a lot more than just the suit. So let's start with the shirt. Make sure you get a great fit on the cuff and on the collar. So on most off-the-rack shirts, these are shirts not made custom, you're going to notice there's two buttons here on the collar. The two buttons are there to give you two options when it comes to fit. And you know you have a good fit on the cuff when it fits smoothly around the wrist, not tight, but definitely not overly loose because you don't want your hand to slip through. Oh, and on a side note, if you wear a watch, make sure you always leave a little bit of extra room so your watch can slide in and out. Now with collars, the mistake I see most often is either going with the wrong style or getting the wrong fit. So shirt collars come in a wide variety of styles, but as you can see from the chart right here, there are two main factors that affect its overall appearance. They are the point length and the point spread. Increase the angle of the collar spread, shorten those points, all of a sudden you have a wide spread collar, which is going to be a more casual style, great if you want to wear a wider necktie knot or wear that shirt without a necktie. Bring it in a little bit more narrow, you're going to need to go with a smaller knot, a smaller necktie. Now there are exceptions to this where you add one small style detail and it changes the collar. Example being the collar I'm wearing right here. This is a button down collar. It's going to be more casual. You can wear it with a necktie. So when it comes to your collar, fully buttoned here at the top, you want to be able to slide in 2 fingers. That's about perfect. 3, okay. 1, a little bit close. But the point here is you don't want to choke yourself out. Now, if you've already got a shirt in your wardrobe, but it's a little bit tight, you can actually move the button over about 1/4 to maybe 1/2 inch. And another option here, you can find them online or sometimes in menswear stores. They have button extenders that can give you another 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. Next up, let's talk about shoulders. This area is critical. On a shirt, you have a shoulder point. That needs to be approximately at the end point of your shoulders. I see a lot of guys make the mistake of trying to wear a shirt that is way too big in the shoulder points. And I get it, you found this shirt on sale, you've got a hard to fit body type, you've got longer arms, but the problem with those shoulder points being out there is 1, you're going to swim in fabric, 2, the frame of that shirt does not work with yours. It's never going to fit properly. It's always going to look off. The advice I would give you, never buy a shirt unless it fits you in the shoulders. Another area that's non-negotiable is the length of the shirt. So if you've got a longer torso, put that shirt on, raise your arms up. You should not be able to see your midsection. If you don't have enough fabric, there's nothing we can do. This shirt just isn't going to work for you. Now, if it's too long, not really an issue. You can just keep it tucked in, but you could always shorten it if you so choose. And the same in the torso. If in the chest area, if in the stomach area, you've got more than 2 inches of fabric to play with, you can easily just simply dart the back of the shirt. This is where we bring in the fabric. It's a relatively inexpensive alteration that you can even learn to do yourself, and it's well worth it because it will make that shirt look so much better on you. Now let's talk about sleeve length. I like them a little bit longer. Some guys like them shorter. In any case, when you put your arms up, they should be about touching your wrist. So if your sleeves pull halfway up your forearms, they're too short, don't buy the shirt. But if you have the opposite issue, a lot of excess material, you can get it adjusted. Just realize this is going to be a little bit more of an expensive fix because they actually have to take the cuff off and they can shorten it. And so for that reason, I say in most cases, leave it alone. Next up, let's talk about shirt colors, patterns, and formality. Now, in terms of formality, the dressiest shirt we're going to see out there is the classic white dress shirt made either from poplin or broadcloth. Now, a big part of this is heritage and tradition, but also when worn with a dark suit, it provides a high contrast look that's typical in black tie and business attire. Now, the most formal collar out there is one you won't see. It's called the wingtip. But on a white shirt like this, as long as you go with anything between that 50 and 70 degrees and between 2 and 3 inches in collar point length, you will be fine, even if you go a little bit more spread or a little bit more closed. Now, going down a notch in formality, we're going to see lighter colored solids. Light blue being the most common, but pretty much in any color, if it's a tint, a lighter color, pastels being a great example. Any one of these can be worn with a dark colored suit, necktie, and it would look good in business attire. And speaking of business attire, let's go to the classic stripes. Right here we have a stripe on white. A white shirt with a colored stripe, this one in a conservative thin blue. Because of its history being worn in a business environment, this one has stepped up in terms of level of formality, and I would put it at about the same level as the tints mentioned earlier. Now, as the stripes get thicker or become more bold, the shirt does start to become more casual. And notice how the stripes have a variety of different names. This is related to the thickness, the dimension of the stripe itself. Now, occasionally you will see stripes on other colors like blue. These are going to be even more casual, but I find a lot of guys still like to wear this with a suit. I wouldn't put it in high-end business attire, but I do think with a casual suit, it can look amazing. Stepping down a level of formality, we have the darker solids along with checks. Now, there are all different types of checks. I prefer really subtle patterns like a Glen check right here, which from a distance, it looks like a solid, but you get up close and you start to see the pattern. And in my opinion, an easy way to introduce patterns, smart looking shirts that add the illusion of texture and I think depth to an overall outfit. And then there are the dark colored dress shirts. In general, I don't consider these dress shirts. Historically, they don't fit that definition, but manufacturers keep putting them out. And if they're not dress shirts, what are they? Well, even though they may have the same collar style, cuff style, and overall build of a dress shirt, they are actually defined as casual button downs, which is a whole other category of shirt, more casual, which you can wear them with sports jackets, maybe even casual suits. I personally don't think they look great with most neckties, but to each their own. I'm just one of those guys maybe stuck in the past trying to pass on tradition that, yeah, I picked up over the decades, wanting you to always look your best. Let's talk about the excuse, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to dress better. Guys, come on. I give you so many tools here free on this channel, but if you actually want a guide, down in the description of today's video, I'm going to link over to my style system. We've got a special going on. If you want a step-by-step program on how to improve your style, get access to me and my team to be able to give you feedback on your outfits, to be able to just help you and motivate you and hold you accountable to taking action to become the man you know yourself to be when it comes to image and style, guys, I'm going to link to it down in the description. I get it, gents. As an adult man, you want to suit up properly. Whether you're wearing a suit, blazer, sports jacket, you want to look good when you put on that jacket. So next up, let's talk measurements. Let's talk fit. See, a lot of guys are used to wearing really loose clothing or clothing that just didn't fit them properly, and they become used to that. And so when they try something that looks great on them, but fits maybe a little bit closer, they find it uncomfortable. But that's because they're not used to it, and they actually have full freedom of movement. The clothing is made from a very high quality material that's incredibly soft. They're just not used to it touching their body in that way. So at this point, you know what you want, you know what your measurements are, and you're trying different garments on. And most of these are fitting you pretty well, but how to be able to tell a good fit on a jacket. So first up, look at the shoulders. If it doesn't fit you in the shoulders, do not buy the jacket. It is not ever worth getting an adjustment in the shoulders of a jacket unless it's an heirloom piece. And the biggest offense here is that some guys are going to buy a jacket that is too large. The shoulder points are going down the arm, but if it is way too big in the shoulders, it's never going to look good. In addition, if it's too tight, and these are guys maybe that are in great shape, a little bit thinner guys, they're trying to fit into a smaller jacket and their arms, it's just pushing out. When you see something like this, it's not good. Next up, let's look at the length of the jacket. This is another area that you don't want to compromise on. You should be able to put your hands down, and about where your knuckles are is where the jacket should end. Now, we see a lot of times jackets are going to be a little bit shorter, especially the modern cuts. That's not necessarily a bad thing, as long as your buttocks are fully covered. When it goes to length, though, if it is going beyond, your fingers, yeah, this is way too long, and again, a very expensive fix, and it can only be adjusted so much, so I would skip on the jacket if it doesn't fit you here. Now let's look at the torso. We're talking about the stomach, we're talking about the chest area. You've actually got a lot of play here. Most tailors are going to be comfortable bringing a jacket in about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. That being said, you want to get it as close to perfect off the rack, so it's worth looking around at the different fits, the different styles. Now, when it comes to sleeve length, I find that most jackets off the rack need to be shortened a bit, and that's why you want to be wearing your dress shirt, the dress shirt that you would wear actually with that jacket. And the reason being is you want to say, okay, how much am I going to show whenever my arms are down? Usually I like to show about 1/2 inch to maybe 3/4 inch, but there are limitations. So if the jacket actually has working buttons, these are called surgeon cuffs. They're really fancy, they're really nice, but they do limit actually, how much they can shorten the sleeves. So be aware of that. All right, so you got the fit of the jacket right. Now let's look at the trousers. And a lot of guys skip over this, even though trousers are so much easier to adjust. And there's really only a couple things that you need to look at. First up, the hem. That's going to be the length of the trousers. A lot of people, okay, it's 1 inch long, maybe 2 inches long. I'll just simply hike up the pants. No, don't do that. It never looks good. Remember, I talked about style is a ladder. It depends on every rung to maintain the integrity. You don't want to have a great fitted jacket mixed with trousers that aren't going to fit properly. Now, when it comes to hemming your trousers, you got 4 general options here when it comes to dress pants. You've got no break, you've got a quarter break, you've got half break, and you've got a full break. My advice here, if you're a taller guy, yeah, go for a full break, go for a half break. If you're a shorter guy, definitely go for no break or a quarter break. Proportionally, in my opinion, it just looks better this way. The other area on the trousers you want to make sure you get a good fit is going to be on the waist and the buttocks area, because if it's too tight here, which I occasionally see, you're going to have basically your pockets are going to balloon out and it's just not a great look. So make sure you've got room there. Otherwise, you're going to bend over it and yeah, they're going to tear in the back. Not a good look. So at this point, you got an idea of what type of fit you're going for, but you still got to make a determination of the fabric and the style. So first up, the fabric. As I talked about, if this is going to be one of your first suits, just go with a solid or a semi-solid. Again, a semi-solid looks like a solid from a distance. Usually you want to go with a darker color. Lighter colored suits in general are going to come off as more casual. This also applies to strong pattern suits. Understand that these, again, if you own a variety of suits, if you already have the base suits, these are great to add to your wardrobe, but striped suits, they're all about business and they're nice, but they're not one of the first 3 suits I would ever recommend a man purchase. Anything with a strong contrasting color like a houndstooth or something like that, those are really cool suits, but they're not going to be, your first 5, not even your first 7. Those are going to be ones, again, for a professional that wears suits on a daily basis. Also, when I talked about semi-solids, understand that, again, from a distance, these look solid, but when you get up close, you see the pattern. A variety of shadow herringbones actually have this. You can get up close and see, hey, this has a little bit of a bird's eye right in there, and it's a really nice pattern, but again, from a distance, this looks like a suit that you could pull off in a variety of situations. Now let's talk about all the different style options. So the majority of the jackets you're going to see out there are 2-button jackets. Occasionally you're going to see a 3-button jacket. In black tie, you'll definitely see a 1-button jacket in some suits, especially those made for a little bit shorter guys. Occasionally you'll see a jacket out there in a big and tall store that has 4 to 5 buttons. In general, stick with 2-button jackets, especially for your first 5 to 6 suits. If you find a 3-button suit and you really, really like the look of it, go for it. There are 2.5s. I'm not going to get into that. That's actually a 3-button made only to have that center button buttoned. So it's really a 2 that has that 3rd extra button just for show. 1-buttons. I've got a few of these and I think that they're perfectly fine, but they're going to be a little bit more fashion forward. In general, the vast majority of men should stick with 2-button suits. Next up, let's talk about lapels. First up, we've got the notch lapel. Seen on the majority of jackets out there, this is perfectly fine for a business suit. And yeah, notch lapels, they are simple, they are classic, they get the job done. But they're also one of the more casual type lapels. Next up, we've got the shawl lapel, and we'll see the shawl lapel on black tie. This is going to be a very elegant, classic, but you don't want to get this on a suit. This, again, is for black tie. Next up, you will see the peak lapel. You see this on both black tie, especially double-breasted, and you will also see this over on single-breasted occasionally on higher-end suits. But this is going to be one of the more formal type of lapels. You got to be careful, especially on retro suits or something you find in a vintage shop. These can be really wide, especially those from the 1970s. It's a really nice look, but be careful because it can be too formal and a little bit too eye-catching for some. Next up, let's talk about jacket pockets. The breast pocket, the majority of the time, will be on the left-hand side, and this is just for holding a pocket square. If you see another pocket, it's got 2 pockets, that's more of a safari jacket type of look, and it makes the jacket more casual. Now, when it comes to the breast pocket, you will see a variety of styles. This one is actually sewn into the jacket, but whenever you see a bit of material placed on top, understand that's a patch pocket, and it is a more casual style. Now, continuing that down to the bottom pockets on the front part of the jacket, we're going to see 3 different types. Again, the most casual is going to be the patch pocket, in which a fabric is sewn on top of the jacket. But you're also going to see 2 other types. You're going to see most commonly what's known as a flap pocket, and that is where it's got a flap covering, but the pocket is sewn onto the inside of the jacket. You're also going to see jetted, and some flaps can actually become jetted pockets, and that is where the flap will either tuck in. Jetted pockets are going to be streamlined, and you will see these on black tie. And now moving around to the back of the jacket, let's talk about the different vent styles. You'll see no vents, oftentimes on Italian jackets, or black tie, but you'll see this whenever they want to create a really slimmed up silhouette. A single vent. This is the least expensive and the one that I really don't like as much. The double vent. This one here is going to be more expensive than a single vent and is more flattering because you put your hands in your pocket, which you probably shouldn't, but yeah, we do anyway. You're not going to expose your buttocks as you would do with the single vent. And all this, gentlemen, leads to higher levels of confidence. And that's my end goal here at Real Men Real Style, is for you to become the man you know yourself to be. Clothing is nice, but what I really care about is how you use it as a tool to get what you want out of life. So guys, if you want to learn how to dress with more confidence, well, come on. I've got you covered, with another video right here, specifically how to dress with confidence. Boom, got you that video right here. Go check out this video.